towards that back line. We'll see if this is actually a gamble, or if Aura has something in the bag for us. We have a comment here from Sin though. Aura's heroes are rarely used by other people, but when they are using it, it is very powerful, and I think that's a very accurate statement. They find ways to make these heroes, the unorthodox picks, just shine in their hands. Whereas the Ling, oof.
And that's exactly what's actually being exemplified here for Aura Fire. Remember, the Kufra was Godiva's Season 9 power pick. So let's see how far that can go, realizing that Bigatron have actually opted to pick a Ling into the Kufra.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting, right? That's why I gave out a little gasp there, because again, that Ling's gonna have a tough time up against the Kufra. The thing is though, the Ling has a lot of pressure on the Wan. One of the counters towards the Wan is the Ling, with the invulnerability from the Tempest Blades, from the damage, the poke, and even just the mobility. They can catch the Wan off. With this though, ladies and gentlemen, we have crazy range from the side of Aura Fire, and for BTR, they want to go for a dive with their composition, perhaps also looking for the picks. Both of the teams are ready. The traps have been set. You guys can share your support. Show it in the comments right now. Hashtag BTR win or hashtag Aura Fire as we jump into the Land of Dawn for game number 1 in this best of 3 series.
Aura Fire's composition is set on a lot of factors, right? They need to be able to utilize the crossbow tank coming in from Kabuki when it comes down to it. Kufra needs to land that Tyrant's Rage and Revenge, and all these can actually be countered by Diggy's Time Journey. So timing is going to be of the essence here between Aura Fire as well as Bigatron Alpha.
From the looks of it, Aura Fire will need to try and find opportunities to just burst down members from Bigatron Alpha, and if it doesn't work out, they have to kite back. Which is why I think your comment on the Matilda makes a bit more sense. But right now, if they go for a big fight, a big 5v5, that time journey will be a huge problem, especially because I think it enables Bigatron Alpha to just dive harder towards that backline as well. It will deny Kabuki the outplay potential as well here with the crossbow of Tang. So I think that will be a big test for Kabuki to try and overcome during the course of this game.
Perhaps, Arashi, one of the reasons that they couldn't pick up the Matilda last minute was because Marky picked up the Melissa. That go away is going to be very difficult for Aura Fire to actually overcome when it comes down to it. But Talon's prediction here by Axe, very different flavors and colors, but Bigatron Alpha is going to be the choice here for Mirko.
And Papulong, right? Both of the main casters. We're going for BTR. In Papulong, maybe we're thinking alike here, but so far from what I've seen, again, Wan versus Melissa is a pretty good lane for the Wan. Thing is, you gotta add that roamer, right? The roamer factors into this matchup. Diggy has so much more pressure than the Kufra. And if you combine Marky's poke with his second ability on this Melissa, with the alarm bomb, you're not really gonna win out in this lane. Marky's gonna have such a good time farming up. And if Marky gets farmed up to a point where he has 2 items, Kabuki's gonna have a lot of trouble.
It's kind of interesting that, like, initially I thought everyone has the same predictions because both the icons are red, and yeah, it's a bit of a good mix. But now Bigatron Alpha, they have this setup advantage. We did talk about the faster rotations, and now they have the better poke game with that alarm bomb already chunking high and facehugger quite a bit. We'll see if Aura tries to go for this because Godiva is all the way in the bot side, but Bigatron, they don't jump on that opportunity just yet.
I honestly believe that Bigatron Alpha is going to have a better time in these setups when it comes down to the neutral objectives. Just solely on the fact that you have the Moreno, but oh my god, already so much damage onto high. I actually might be wrong.
Yeah, Time Journey comes in, clutch by Key. Sariza also popping that sprint, but Godiva comes in with a flicker to secure first blood in the enemy jungle. He does not care. He's not even going to get traded back. What a play from Godiva. Securing that kill will mean that Aura Fire have control of this turtle. Moreno popping in crossbow tank to Fluffy, who's able to zone Key away. Godiva again with the Tyrant's Revenge, able to bring the damage onto Moreno. He's putting the damage back in, but Fluffy's going to be able to secure the turtle. Tempest Blade popped in. It's going to be Max jumping in with a lot of damage, going for Fluffy. Oh my goodness, Max finds a kill with the help of Sarizo. High jumping in again. Doesn't have the endless charge just yet. Both teams low, but BTR somehow come out on top.
Remember, Max is on a killing spree emblem, so he really is going for that aggression, but oh my god! Aura High here Oh, just what level is he on? Level 6 and already outputting so much damage, Arashi.
It's kind of uncanny to see Aura high on the Amon because he seems to have a good mix of burst damage, but at the same time DPS. So you really have to be worried about long engagements as well as short engagements alike. Right now, Aura goes for the purple buff invade here, already pressuring Max away.
Reverse time, bringing high back for the damage to come through. Time the Blaze popped in, dodging away from Tyrant's Rage, and look at Max dealing so much damage on the back lines. High though, somehow finding a trade in that spot. Still, it is a roamer traded in for a jungler. BTR come out on top in that trade.
Did you see the movement coming in from high though? He was like a sliver of health. He nearly got taken down. He hid in the bush for a bit longer and was able to get that kill out. So very cold and calculated by Aura Fire. But of course, Bigatron Alpha does have the better trade and a little bit of a gold lead.
They do have the gold lead, and it feels like Aura Fire is a bit too aggressive. They can do that, but with the lack of crowd control available due to the Diggy, it does seem like a lot of these engagements really, in most circumstances, would be a lot cleaner for Aura Fire. It is getting denied a lot more as Kabuki here gets jumped on.
Second ability popped in, getting out of that reverse time. And again, it just, it shows this matchup down below. Marky using that range, utilizing it very, very well. On top of that, he has finished up the Windtalker, so he's going to be able to clear the waves really fast. With the Alarm Bomb as well, Wanwan's just not having a good time in that lane.
It's just so difficult right now because the 1-1 is just getting denied again and again, and he does have the corrosion side as well, but Bigatron, they're not the ones chasing forward. They're just content waiting in the back and poking, and then going for the plays afterwards once Aura has done all the work on the neutral objective like now.
Oh, they aren't able to get anything on the board though. Max didn't have the purple buff, so he just comes in to back off. BTR losing out in the second turtle as well. Aura Fire able to get the pressure onto it and even able to shove down below.
Sorizo also in the top side here has to be a little bit more careful. When he went in for the team fight for the turtle, he didn't clear the lanes first. So Fluffy was actually able to have half damage onto that turret. And if that continues to progress, Aura Fire is going to have a very great time realizing that Fluffy likes to go in for those engages. And if he's able to clear out first, that just might be a disaster.
Right now, Fluffy is actually holding up against Sorizo, but Sorizo seems to have more pressure in the lane as High comes in to change that fact. Coming with the Endless Shards, actually taking him out. What?
What? Arashi, item, damage, what?
Okay.
He has a genius one now. I'm not sure if he had it like during that fight, but that was an Esmeralda with an enchanted talisman.
Wait. Was that paired up with the Dawning Light or not?
No,
I don't think so. It was just Endless
Shards.
Shards taking him out just like that. Sorizo has a bit more physical defense considering he is going up against a Paquito. But wow, it was more than half HP on Sorizo. Just gets deleted.
That's absolutely oh my goodness. I mean,
none of us were ready for that.
Yeah, no, we had the same reactions. What? Like synchronized 3-man what? Because that's the only reaction you can have to that damage. It was what? 3 out of I'm speechless. Like that was just so much damage on an Esmeralda this early on. Sure, he has a genius one, but you wouldn't expect that much damage. I think Sorizo was also synchronized with us. I think he said what too.
He's probably confused as heck. How is an assassin able to one-shot, a tank fighter essentially from the Esmeralda? We'll have to see. This is what we talked about for Aura Fire. They can go for DPS, but they can go for burst. And in the situation where you can't really go for a drawn-out fight, having that kind of burst damage is just so important for Aura Fire. And we have seen that High can abuse that to its full potential. Max here is just flying around, trying to see if he can make a play happen. But he has to be careful. Aura, they like to take advantage of that.
He's going to be able to jump in, stealing it away, actually. Jumps in onto Fluffy. Time turn popped in by Keen. Now Moreno going in for the crossbow. Tag, but go Diva! Comes in for the Tyrant's Rage. Locking 2 in place as Kabuki comes in with the crossbow of Tang. Taking 2 kills over to Aura Fire. A kill, 2 kills traded in for 1, but the turtle was secured by BTR. So, in terms of worth, in terms of value, Arashi, who takes it there?
I think, that's a weird question because I think it's somewhat even right here. Both teams want to be aggressive. Both teams have good late-game heroes. Bigatron Alpha were able to get a turret in the bottom side as well because Moreno, he didn't come in because we talked about this, the difference in priorities and playstyles. So they get a turret off that, and Aura, despite getting 2 kills, they lose the turtle as well. So I think Bigatron Alpha essentially comes out on top there.
This is just so uncanny to see because even without any anti-regen damage coming in from Aura Fire, they were able to put so much damage on the Esmeralda, and now that Dominance Ice has been taken down.
Okay.
Oh, but this time around,
There
not
you
much
go.
damage is going in.
Yeah, I didn't put as many stacks in towards Orizo, so the damage just was not there. But there you go, and that's the damage we expected. Players gold by Ube as gold, though. It's still high, and Kabuki on top. Wow, that's actually really interesting, considering that, again, BTR have been putting so much focus down below. He popping in the sprint, reverse time as well, bringing Godiva back from Moreno to Chunk, but he's going to be able, he's actually going to lose out on that one. So Rizzo down below, using the falling sound when Fluffy goes for the knockout strike. Max might actually lose his life to the Endless Charge, but he is able to dodge away with the Tempest of Blades, sandwiched by High and Fluffy. Able to get out.
Rematch.
See ya! Oh my god, High!
No, you do not survive High's burst right now. He just finished his Divine Glaive as well, so that penetration is serious business. So Rizzo wants none of it, he gets taken out, and this is the danger right now. Bigatron Alpha, at any point, if they walk into a bush, it doesn't take much for Aura Fire to be able to delete one man, and at that point, the time gene doesn't matter, because they're not falling to crowd control, they are falling to just pure burst damage.
And it sucks because Sorizo is supposed to be the sandbag for Bigatron Alpha. He's supposed to be the one to absorb that burst and that damage coming in from Aura Fire, but right now, it's just not possible. We can see that Aura Fire has the better engage on this floor, but Bigatron Alpha, they've got something to say about this.
Max jumping over the Tempest of Blades, goes in, but look at the damage coming through, and still Max winning out the retry battle! That's gonna be the crossbow tank popped in. Kabuki doing the same thing right now. Doesn't decide to go for the pop. He did not get that last weakness point on Sorizo. Max is carrying BTR right now.
And it reflects on their statistics. Remember their head-to-head? We saw that Bigatron Alpha was able to secure more objectives on the board. And man, a lot of that impact has definitely got to be by the retribution from Max. The retribution that we so doubted last season around.
We did see that it got very, very close, so I think High was just pressured by the situation because, again, they need to take the short engagements as Marky just gets nuked. He gets to escape with his life for now, but in the later stages of the game, he might not be that lucky.
Moreno, though, has a lot to play with. Aura Fire, they have a lot of make or break it ultimates. He can take the crossbow of Tang, he can use the ultimate coming in from Godiva, or even utilize that Dawning Light coming in from Facehuggers. So playmaking potential definitely be there for Moreno, depending on the situation that pursues them.
Look at this though, the siege in the mid lane. Marky again gonna get a huge chunk of his HP taken out. High, one level ahead of Max, but Max will be able to secure the purple buff. Now BTR, slowly but surely, actually taking back map control. And yeah, they've equalized in terms of the turret gold. I mean, the turret takes.
The turret takes as well as the gold advantage in general. Down to 800 damage. High now walks into the bush, gets surprised, but ooh, it seems like both teams do not want to aggress right now. But that's the advantage that High has as well. That conceal the invisibility. It makes it very difficult for Bigatron Alpha to try and punish his aggression. He's free to try and attempt these plays and then walk out in relative security afterwards. And that's something that Bigatron Alpha, they have to try and punish a bit more. Right now, they're grouping up a lot more, and that's denying Aura Fire the pickoffs they've been able to get in the earlier stages of the game.
There definitely is the setup game here happening because there are no objectives on the board. We can see that the waves in general both are still even. With 50 seconds left on the Lord, whoever is going to be able to get that better setup is going to win it out. But I gotta say, Aura Fire should not be the one to initiate it, unless they want to bait out that time journey only.
Yeah, that time journey is the weapon that Bigatron Alpha can use to actually win out in these team fights. But I do actually want to put your focus, the viewers, on towards Kabuki, because early on, he was bullied by Marky and Key in that gold lane. Alarm bombs, the doll as well by Marky, abusing that range. But right now, we saw UBS Gold, player gold by UBS Gold just now. It was Kabuki and High. Take a look at the levels as well. He's level 14 compared to Marky's level 13 on a Melissa. It does show that outside of the lane, he does find a whole lot of success, the 1-1. And he's able to actually just rotate across the map, getting and funneling farm towards himself. He's gonna hit level 15, just one more wave.
Well,
there you go.
He's doing really, really well. And considering how tough it has been for him in that lane, he is able to share a bit of the income from the jungle because Hai has been getting a lot more income from farming heroes instead. That's an advantage that Aura has, and they're going for the Lord.
Sneaky Lord take coming in. Max again winning out in the retreat battles as Moreno pops in the crossbow attack. Sorizo able to dash onto Fluffy using the falling Star Moon, putting in the damage onto him. BTR slowly but surely playing it really, really well to actually come back in this game. Already building themselves up a 1.3 thousand gold lead. And with that, Arashi, Max's items, holy. He's going for a BOD next, Arashi.
He's going full aggression. He wants to make sure that, I think later on, Facehugger will be the man in his sights. If he can get onto Facehugger, Xavier doesn't really have an easy time peeling away danger from himself. We'll see if the team can try and do something about that. Maybe Godiva will have to transition to being a safety measure instead. But for Kabuki, we talked about the 1-1 having a healthy amount of damage. Corrosion Scythe, a Demon Hunter Sword, as well as the Wind Talker, and a Wind of Nature for good measure. He will have ways to outplay Max later on, but Key here gets jumped on.
As the time journey, able to get out. Reverse time, bringing Godiva back from Marky to poke down. Moreno jumping in as well. Not really gonna commit just yet. They do have the waves to play with, but Aura Fire, very good micromanagement on to the Lord. Bigatron Alpha will be able to find a tier 2 down below, and the mid lane tier 2. No, they don't. They don't go for the mid lane tier 2. So, in terms of value, not that massive for an enhanced Lord. Still, Aura Fire, good defense.
Still a 2,000 group lead as well from the side of Bigatron Alpha, and you can see a respect item from Kabuki as well. He's actually opted to take the Athena shield. So, what is he afraid of here, Arashi?
Well, Moreno has a lot of options to try and dive on him. And if he gets the Dawning Light, perhaps, that's a big utility tool. Later on in the game, the damage coming in from Key on the alarm bombs as well. There are several sources of magical damage on the side of Bigatron, so I think it's just a good safety measure. He needs to be healthy in these fights, otherwise Max, right, he can just take him out really, really fast. I think it's a great decision from the side of Kabuki.
Let's see. Well, coming into the 15th minute of the game, about to enter the 16th minute, Facehugger is going to be scaled up pretty well, right? We haven't really seen Facehugger make that many plays, deal that much damage so far, but again, it comes down to the hero's power spike. Since the nerf onto Xavier, he gets the power spike a bit later into the game, and now that's the room for Facehugger to actually play. Going for the Dawning Light, he will be able to connect it. Sorizo, though, jumping onto High, will have the Endless Charge popped onto him, but Max goes into the back line, finding Facehugger. Moreno doing the same thing, stealing the crossbow of Tang, as Aura Fire popped the Conceal to back away. Aura losing their mid laner. The man that I just mentioned will hit the power spike here.
That is a danger when you have a backline member against a team with an assassin. Max is playing absolutely stellar right now, and Facehugger, he needs to respect the possibility that he'll just get jumped on. We saw the Godiva was making the aggressive play, so nobody was available to try and save his life. Xavier is absolutely immobile, and now Bigatron with the advantage. They want to pressure, they want to force Aura into a 5v4 fight, or get a free Lord instead. Here we go.
Fluffy jumping in, Marquis popping the go away right now. That's going to be Godiva, who is able to find a Tyrant's Revenge. Not much more. Fluffy taken low. Godiva going to get taken down by Sorizo. Retreat battle. High wins it here, but Fluffy is going to lose out on his immortality. Popped in right here. High trying to deal damage, but will be forced to back away. 5 members still strong for BTR, and Aura very good secure by High.
I don't think I noticed how much time has elapsed. 17 minutes already finished here in game number 1 against Aura Fire as well as Bigatron Alpha. So the countdown timers are going to make a huge impact when it comes down to it. So even if you win that Lord, if you lose too many members, it's really difficult to see how optimally you can take and what you can get with that Lord push, Arashi.
It's difficult for High now because he lost the momentum, the advantage. Kabuki here walks into 2 members. He will be able to survive. That was very, very dangerous. This is a risky situation here at 18 minutes of the game. Timers, as you mentioned, are very critical. And if you look at the damage dealt by X, as we say that Kabuki gets taken out. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at the items just now, Arashi, Kabuki didn't have a Wind of Nature yet, yeah? I don't think he did. So, because he didn't have the Wind of Nature, that's the instant punish coming in. Oh, he does have the Wind of Nature. That was just Max. I guess Kabuki did not expect that damage.
Is it on cooldown?
I don't think so.
What is he doing face checking anyway?
He shouldn't be doing
face
that.
checking. Again, right, that's just, we've seen this kind of the kind of plays we've seen from Kabuki on those fighter type of heroes are those crazy openings. Key though, give a bait in for Moreno. Crossbow tank popped in, go away as well. Fluffy gonna be pinned down. Max jumps into the back lines. We're the top of the blades. Facer gonna get taken down. Double kill picked up by Max. Max and Max. Moreno jumping in onto Godiva. It's a wipeout for BTR. Presented to you by Head and Shoulders. Kabuki, the only man left standing, 1v5. Diggy doesn't have the time journey. Kabuki goes in for the crossbow of Tang right now onto Mark. He has it, but BTR, they stay focused onto the base. A massive upset, 1-0 BTR.
Wow, Bigatron. How? That was really well done by Bigatron. Very, very great game. They were able to utilize their composition to its utmost potential. And I gotta say, a lot of mistakes from the side of Aura Fire. I mean, what was Kabuki doing? Checking out the face checking the bush, realizing he's one of the core members. And the fact that Bigatron Alpha had the Diggy to counter the momentum that Aura Fire could have utilized to their advantage. They should have just reacted more defensively, like Arashi mentioned at some point. Just used Kufra to defend one.